With school back in session, it's time to get back to the point here on the Tarleton Sports Network. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kyle Cruz, and I'll be guiding you through today's conversation today as we get to know Hali'a Hogan here, brand new player on Mary Schindler squad graduate transfer out of Oklahoma. Hali'a, I appreciate you giving me the time today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you here. Real quick, before we get started on everything going on in your life and things going on with you, let us know, how's everybody in Hawaii right now, friends and family, during all of this COVID outbreak?
I mean, when I was at home, it was pretty mellow. We didn't have too many COVID cases, but now that they're opening the state up, I guess it's kind of rising. So my family's just trying to stay safe, stay at home. But other than that, they're still going to the beach and doing normal things.
I have never had the opportunity to go to Hawaii, but one thing I do know is safety is a priority there. That's something that's very big. How different is it there as opposed to here? You talk about it changing now with people coming in. I mean, is there a big difference?
Yeah. I mean, when I was down there, I think we had 0 cases on my island in particular for about 3 months. So we really didn't have a worry. But now that the airports are open, of course, tourists want to go there. They don't want to necessarily do the 2-week quarantine. So we don't really have the hospital space. So I guess the rise is kind of taking a toll on people, but it's not as severe as the mainland, I guess, out here. So.
Well, I know it's the only of the 50 states where animals have to quarantine when they come in. I know y'all are rabies free, and if you take care of your animals like that, I can only imagine when it comes to people's safety. So
exactly.
Another thing I know that's embedded in Hawaii with the culture, it's something that people from there, it's very serious in their life. And I know the way people are named, that's something that is, taken seriously in Hawaii, and you're no different in that sense.
Yeah, very much. When I was born, my first name's actually Helen, so people get confused if I'm Helen or Hali'a. I was the only granddaughter or girl born after my great-grandmother passed away, so I got her name Helen. And then my grandma gave me my Hawaiian name, which is Hali'a, and it means in fond remembrance. So it's kind of just I'm the only girl, so it was the perfect fit for me to be named after her.
Yeah, and I know like most of the student athletes here at Tarleton State, you played multiple sports growing up, played basketball, ran track. One that was interesting to me, though, is that you were into paddling. Take us through that and what that entails.
Okay, so paddling, the simplest way to put it is rowing. Instead of rowing backwards, you're paddling forward. So it's kind of, I hate to say this, but it's like Lilo and Stitch. In the beginning of Lilo and Stitch, they have the canoe and everyone's paddling. That's exactly what it's like in Hawaii. It's a real sport. It's a winter sport. So we paddle in the ocean, and they set up buoys, and you paddle around the buoys and you race. So that's kind of what paddling is. It's you can do it for fun, but you can also compete in it.
I bet you get in incredible shape doing that. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of arms and core.
Well, also growing up, one thing, and obviously you would know if anybody, how important volleyball is in Hawaii. It's not just a game, it's a big part of the culture. And you were telling me it's really cool, you growing up around the sport, you were really close with the coaches for the Hawaii volleyball program, which is a really big deal. They're 4-time national champions. Take us through your relationships with that, how that kind of grew the sport on you and just kind of that whole experience.
It kind of started, my brother went to the University of Hawaii, and he was actually dating a volleyball player, and she introduced me to volleyball. And from there, she was like, hey, club volleyball. I got introduced to that. And then I tried out for the team, and I played under Robin, the assistant coach or now she's the head coach at Hawaii. But I played under her for about 2 years, and it kind of just, her passion for the game and her experience is what really encouraged me to keep going. And from there, I played high school ball. I played club for my high school coach, and just the sport just kept growing on me. And then once you're in love with it, you just keep going.
It's taken you a lot of places here now to Stephenville, luckily enough for us.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot going on off the court as well. One thing you told me is you like to watch scary movies a lot. That's something you have in common with me. If you had to pick one that's your favorite, what would it be?
When I was younger, I loved it. I don't know what it was. I hated clowns, but I loved that movie just because I like the thrill, I guess. I really like Insidious. I like that movie. It's kind of creepy, but I think it's cool.
Okay, I gotta ask, the new or the old version of It now?
The old version.
The old version. Okay, I like the
Yeah,
new.
I like the older movies.
Yeah, I like the '80s one too as well. So, another thing that I think is interesting that you have in common with a lot of the friends that I have had from Hawaii is you love Christmas time, and a big reason is you get to go home and see family. You know, what is it about that time of year? You know, I know getting to see family is a big part of what draws you to kind of the holidays.
I think it's just like that May and that December, those 2 months are like my favorite time because, of course, like a lot of people out here, like Oklahoma and Texas, they're all so close to home. So they can go home whenever they want. So it's just different being able to see my family. And I know it's hard for them to come out here all the time. So those two are my favorite. Christmas is Christmas in Hawaii is nice. I mean, you have the lows is 70, the highs is like 85. So it's like the best time to be in Hawaii. Also, like the surf is pretty fun in the Christmas time. So I like to surf with my friends. It's just something we do for fun. But yeah, being close or going to see my family is definitely the pro of that.
I have no doubt it beats the Texas weather here in December. As everyone, you're watching To The Point, this our weekly podcast series. This week we're getting to know Hali'a Hogan and Hali'a. Now we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. We do this or that on To The Point. So we're gonna go fast here. So cookies or cake?
Cookies.
Chicken or steak?
Chicken.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Shoes or flip flops?
Ooh. Flip flops.
I figured that'd be easy for the Hawaii girl. Then again, though,
I wear shoes up here, but then I wear, so.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Shorts or pants?
Shorts.
Pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, waffles.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Love or money?
Love.
Comedy or horror?
Horror.
LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
Morning or night?
Morning.
I got a feeling I know the last one. Beach or mountains?
Beach, but I live in the mountains.
Okay. All right. That's a fair answer, though. So just to be transparent. All right. Now I'm going to ask you about some of your Tarleton teammates, though. And I know this is a quick one. You've got to know everybody fast here in your time since coming here from Norman. I got to ask, who's the funniest teammate you have?
I think Anna's the funniest. I mean, she got that little like Puerto Rican spunk to her, and she's pretty funny.
How about the smartest player that you met so far?
I had to have help on this one. I don't really know who's smart. Like, I mean, I don't ask, but I think Lauren Kersey is the smartest. She'd be in her.
Good answer. No, I like that, Junior. She's that's a definitely good answer. Most opinionated teammates you have?
Most opinionated. I think it's KB.
That's another one that would definitely fit. So
I feel like, yeah, KB, she has her opinions and she'll say them. So that's a good thing. I like that about her.
All right. Which teammate are you going to share a deserted island with?
A deserted island? I think me and Amari would survive. I don't really know. We get along pretty well.
The transfers stick together, right? So
basically.
Okay, first person you met at Tarleton State, and do you have a story behind it?
Well, since I got recruited in April, I kind of did everything on Zoom. So initially, the first person I met was Nat, and I had a Zoom call with her and Haley. But in person, Amari, Lauren, and I showed up to our house, and those were the first two I met, and we got the house together just out of the blue. So yeah, that's basically the story of how I met my teammates. Other than that, I met them on FaceTime and all that. But yeah, not really an exciting like meeting first team. But I mean, now that I know them, I'm happy where I am.
Well, it's exciting enough that you're here. So
yeah.
On that. I love that you bring up your recruitment here. And it's so interesting, I always think, not only for transfers, but grad transfers, especially degree in hand and everything. It's really about where you want to be happy for the next year. And you were telling me that you were kind of focused on the West Coast, wanting to be closer to home, but things kind of changed all of a sudden. Kind of take us through what transpired.
Well, my coach at OU called me and he was like, hey, I have a friend who's interested, but like, I don't know, you wanted to go West Coast, so like it's something you might want to consider. And I was like, okay, where is it? They're like, Texas. I'm like, all right, like I'm already out here. So it can't be like that hard and that bad for me to reach out to her. So Haley called me and we just started talking. And then she let me know that you guys were going to the WAC. Whoops, I almost said Big 12. But something exciting about the WAC is there is West Coast games. So I was like, all right, now I'm really considering this school. And just Haley and I had like this relationship of coming from the big Power 5 schools, and like she kind of motivated me and persuaded me to be like, oh, okay, like I'm really like interested in the school. And then I started getting the videos of like campus and all that. So that's kind of what like changed my mind and was like, okay, I really like this school. And I kind of wanted to go to a smaller school because I like knowing people. So I don't know, it just kind of felt like the right fit. And then I got here and I loved it.
I love the OU and UT connection there. I don't know. I feel like if you were anywhere in the vicinity of the Big 12 while Haley Eckerman was there, you just sit back and listen if she has something to say. So that's got you here, and we're all glad you are.
It's something that we can like agree on. We can agree on purple, not orange, not red. We'll agree on purple.
So you told me once you're done here that really you aren't choosing your next destination. It's kind of wherever your next step is. You want to go to law school right now. Kind of take us through that process, once you get done with here. Any target schools that you're looking at?
I say West Coast again, but who knows where I'll end up. I've always kind of dreamed of going to Gonzaga for law school. I initially was actually looking at there coming out of high school for volleyball, but OU changed my mind. Of course, I change my mind pretty often. But Gonzaga is one I'm looking at. I'm also looking at USF. So I'm looking at West Coast, but then again, I like UNT. Like they have a law school right in downtown Dallas. So I'm still all over the place, to be honest. But it's just like, as the time gets closer and the LSAT and all that, then I'm going to really get my top schools.
A lot of options open for you. One thing I thought was really interesting, though, I asked you where you're going to be in 10 years. You're so driven towards being an attorney. First thing that you said was mom. Like, just came. Take me inside that. I feel like that's part of the culture. That's Hawaii, I feel like, kind of speaking in a family type of thing.
Hawaii is very family oriented. I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm one of the few kids in Hawaii that doesn't have a family or like kids anymore. Like Hawaii, you have kids at a very young age. Yeah. So I'm kind of used to like being around people that have kids at a young age. My oldest brother has 2 kids. So I kind of like grew up with them and like raising them in a way. So I feel like that's kind of why I like have like a maternal instinct in me. And I'm like, oh, I want to be a mom in 10 years. Like I've always like dreamed about having my own family, and just, I think that's why I said that. I don't know.
Well, whatever you do, I'm sure you'll be successful. Thank you so much for giving me time today.
Thank you for having me.
Hali'a Hogan, she's one of the newest of Mary Schindler's crew. Whenever they get to take the floor, stay tuned to tarletonsports.com for all of the news and notes over Tarleton volleyball as we move forward. This year, also follow Tarleton Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to go inside the Tarleton Sports Fan Rewards app. You can get 100 points for checking out today's interview. Use the promo code WISDOM for that. That's going to about wrap things up for us. For Hali'a Hogan, this is Kyle Cruz saying this is to the point, and so long till next time.
Thank you.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. Time's running out to buy America's best-selling brand with our best deals of the summer, like 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup, plus the Ford Promise. But hurry while selection is best. The Ford Summer Sales Event ends September 7th. Hurry in to get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus the peace of mind of the Ford Promise. See your local Ford dealer today.